Welcome back, everybody, to Starsong Academy, Arc 2. The last session, our intrepid students found themselves in Brisbane, seeing the catastrophe that had been wrought upon the city after it had been taken into this realm. Now, they did manage to escape the giant monster made of glass that chased them down and threatened to lock them eternally in stasis as they slowly watched themselves die. However, escaping it was not the end of their troubles. They found themselves outside in the Brisbane city streets, and one by one, Rowan watched as all of his friends became unconscious and fell to the ground. And after moments and barely, maybe seconds more of deliberating, Rowan, you were able to find a small building nearby that the fog did not quite seep into. And so, as grueling as it was, and finding yourself to be the only person who did not succumb to this fog, you were able to slowly but surely get everybody into this house. Took you the better part of what you assumed to be the day. However, as there is no sun nor moon in this realm, it didn't matter. Now, Rowan, you were approached in this house with all of your unconscious friends surrounding you. And you may unmute yourself now, as we are going to have a little just me and you thing here. Rowan, you see as this taller man with combed back hair, gentle smile, and a long three-piece suit steps towards you. And you would recognize him from the camp where you saved him earlier. Why, hello, friend. It is good to see you.
Just real quick. Augie did mention that he noticed that he was hiding something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like last time. And she mentioned that to the others?
Mm-hmm.
Or okay. So yeah, I'm still wary, I think, of this guy, but also don't want to look like I'm on edge or vulnerable or anything.
Roll grit.
So do I need to roll anything for that?
Roll grit to maintain your composure.
Okay.
What did you get?
19.
Okay. With a 19, you're able to keep yourself pretty composed. He doesn't notice anything, at least. Seems to me like you find yourself in quite the pickle.
I mean,
between a rock
Yeah, I
and a
guess
hard
it looks
place, as
that
it
way.
were. I came here to give you an offer.
Oh, just 1 second.
Just waiting for a boat. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, this it isn't ideal though.
Not ideal. I suppose all of
Yeah,
our
I
friends
mean,
being unconscious on the ground would be not ideal. Yes.
yeah,
I do have something I think could help you, though. And I'm sure you
yeah.
wouldn't turn up a kind stranger's offer of help, right? I do have to pay you back for saving me.
I mean, you have a point. Does it have something to do with the fact that you also managed to not, fall asleep here?
This place could not put me to sleep if it tried.
Oh, that's cool.
So I have to offer you a glimpse into your friends. I know that you are currently separated from some of your others.
Huh?
Here, just between me and you, I will let you see what they are up to. And he reaches his hand down and goes to give you a small pendant.
Repentance?
Yep. Looks like a little chain
Right.
with looks like almost a mirror on the bottom. Take a look.
I'm going to hesitantly take a step forward. Uh,
In this
and I
abandoned
guess
building,
just so.
he just holds it down to you.
Holds it down to me. Wait, how tall is he?
He's about 6'5".
Oh my goodness.
Or
Okay.
is he?
Oh,
How tall is this guy? I have it written down somewhere. Let me check. 6 foot? Okay, he's 6 foot even. So yeah, he's just shorter than you.
wait.
He still holds it down towards you
Right.
though.
I guess Robert also has to sort of reach down to pick it up.
You would.
Yeah. So I do that, I guess.
Okay. You take it, and the surface of this mirror seems to shimmer. And you look down, and you see in a warehouse Mia, Clem, Vivi, Cryos, and some woman that you seems familiar, but you can't quite place why. And you watch as the screen seems to shift, and you watch as Blaine, who you've always been a little suspicious of, takes out this orange knife, and you watch as he individually stabs every one of your friends. You look up at the
Whoa.
man, and he says, "Oh, seems, well, I hope they have somebody to take care of that." Look at the pendant, and you watch as
Right.
it seems that Cryos is able to grab Mia and Vivi and run them away. Blaine tries to chase after them. And he watches as he leave. Blaine rakes through the woman who was with them, and she falls to the ground. You see Clem lying on the floor, abandoned, bleeding. How does Rowan react?
That's not good. That's pretty bad. Sorry, how did you get this pendant?
This
Again?
pendant? I made it.
You made it? Oh, wait, how'd you make it? Can you show me? I don't.
I could not replicate it. It took me many weeks. But it is a gift to you. You may always scry upon your friends from here. It only has a few uses, though, so choose them carefully.
Okay. Thank you, that is generous.
Why, you're quite welcome.
Wait, so has it been a few weeks since we rescued this guy, or?
No. It's been like a couple days at best.
So he's had this for a while then.
You could assume that, yes.
Right.
And what is your name, child?
My name? My name is Rowan. Rowan Bolt.
Good to meet you.
What's your name?
Good to meet you, Mr.
Sorry.
Bolt. And he extends his hand forward and goes to shake your hand.
I'm also going to shake his hand.
Okay. Yeah, he just shakes your hand. Mr. Bolt, it is a pleasure. Now, I'm sure that Miss Pardison, Miss Garrison, and Mr. Kell there would require your attention. However, I'm sorry, but I am going to need to take Mr. Lockwood off of your hands.
Excuse me, why do you need to take Mr. Lockwood?
I have some unfinished business. However, if Mr. Lockwood will not suffice, I suppose. As he reaches his hand out, and Orion's body seems to float off the ground a little. Suppose I do have unfinished business with Mr. Kell as well.
If you don't mind me asking, I do feel that to be able to allow any of this, I need to know more. What sort of unfinished business is this that you can't resolve it here?
Well, you see, Mr. Kell and I, and you see as he pulls Orion towards him, or as I used to know him, Stella, we have a long history. We are very good friends.
Yeah, but what is it that you need to resolve, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, you see, when your friend Stella here was... Stella used to be his last name.
Oh, okay, I see.
You see, he used to be a friend of mine, and every once in a while he would make great strides with his magic and come to my office, and I would show him new ways to use it. And I would like to continue our studies.
Wait, just out of character, didn't Orion like way back explain what happened at school
I
when
don't
he
know.
was there? Like,
Do you remember?
and
Look at your
I'm pretty
notes.
sure he was. I don't have the note document up, but I'm pretty sure he was explaining that when he went there, the Flint thing showed that he was a necromancer, and he was immediately taken. So there wouldn't have been any studies unless this guy is related to the thing. But also, I don't remember if that was out of character knowledge or in character knowledge for me. Just trying to find the notes documents.
Now, Mr. Bolt, right? Mr. Bolt. I'm afraid that I am going to need you to make a choice. Quickly.
Is there any other option?
You see he looks and smiles at you, his mostly neutral expression transforming into a wry grin. No, there is not.
So this building we're in, is it like just one story?
Yep,
Or
it's just
something?
a small little concrete building. Seems to be, for the most part, abandoned and ransacked.
Okay. So I wasn't aware this guy even had magic. Is there like any sort of spell that I can at least get a sense for maybe how much magic? Is he like inherently magical or does he just have objects?
You can't tell. If you
Okay.
wanted to roll to find out, I would let you roll an order die to try and see the magical flow here.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. I will tell you it will be pretty difficult, so.
Oh. Oh god. I mean,
You'll have to get within
I just have
5.
many options here. Okay. That's a plus 20, that's a 56, so that's not enough.
That is unfortunately one off.
Man.
You try to focus, but when you open your eyes to the flow of magic within this room, you see chaos magic absolutely inundating the 4 of your friends. But when you look at this taller man, Nigel, you now know, you see that he is like a void of magic. You cannot seem to place what or how much magic he has, if any. And as you do this, he would walk over to you a little closer, maybe a little too close for comfort even. He stares you dead in the eyes. Mr. Bolt, I am going to ask you do not do that again.
What if I need to, though?
I would like you to roll grit, please.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh dear. Let's say 6.
He grabs you by the throat and lifts you up. I told you not to do that again. And you have neglected to make a choice. And he just tosses you. And you fall on the ground. See as he lifts his hand, brings Orion to him, and begins to leave.
Oh gosh. This pen. Okay. I. Can you promise? Can I just call out to him? Can I just.
You can certainly try.
Can you just promise you won't hurt him? He's been through a lot. If you're a friend, you'd understand that.
My friend, Mr. Bolt, hurting is very relative. I'm sorry, but you'll just have to trust me. And it will be at this moment that I would like everybody to please roll an order die. Which, remember, the goal is to get as close to 50 as possible. So what did everybody get? You can all unmute, by the way.
I got a 29.
29 from
Would
Augie.
be- Right. I forget that not everybody has ordered conscience.
What did you get?
I have 40.
40? Okay. Lysander, what did you get?
47. It's in the chat.
Nice. I know, I just like you to ask so that the recording can hear it.
The recording can hear your mom.
No, they can't. Alright, so anybody who got within 10, which would be Lysander and Elwyn, you both wake up. Augie, you are still sleeping. And Elwyn and Lysander, you would both wake up feeling like you just rested very well. But as you open your eyes, you see, as Nigel, or you wouldn't know his name, you see the man that you rescued a few days ago carrying Orion out the back door as Rowan looks on.
Elwyn is immediately going to shoot towards the door.
Lysander's also gonna like grab his wand and run over.
Now.
Not too far.
Nigel would throw his hand up, and I need you to make a brawn check, Elwyn, if you are trying to run at him.
Yes.
It will be opposed by his brains.
23.
He got a 21, so you were able to break through it.
The wrong chat.
You are able to break through as you feel him almost put up like a wall of force in front of you. Well, strong are we? My, if it isn't Elwyn Garrison.
She's not going to respond.
Okay.
There's a different kind of look in her eye.
What are you trying to do?
She's going to form a spear. She's going to form a spear and attempt to stab him.
Okay. Roll fight.
Uh, 13.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly stab him. And at this point, we are going to go into initiative.
There's Nigel can see. The other people behind her can't see it, but there's a tinge of red around her eyes. Not the usual golden glow that's in them. And she has a look of straight up murder in her eyes as she looks at this man who's trying to take Orion away.
Yeah, so you will be able to deal 2 degrees of failure to him. And we are going to switch into boss music. And I'm going to quickly ask for everybody's flight roll again, if you remember. If not, I'll look it up. But
1.
24. Assuming
I
we're
had
using the
a
earliest
flight
roll.
roll. I had a flight roll of 6.
what did you have, Rowan, again?
24. All of my good rolls for the session.
Lysander, do you remember what you got?
8.
8. Nice. Okay. And you would see that as you stab into him, he looks down at you. And he's going to roll flight. Just for his initiative spot. Cool. You guys would notice that whenever he looks at you, he always seems to be looking down. Even if he is physically looking up at you, there seems to be this look of superiority in his eyes.
She's just gonna stare directly back at him, and all she's gonna say is, "You put him down, or I'll spill your entrails all over the walls."
And what did you say to him, sorry?
She said, "Put him down, or I'll spill your entrails all over the walls."
My. And what a good show I'm sure that would be. No, if you wouldn't mind. He looks over at Lysander. Mr. Lockwood, if you would please corral your students. And Rowan, it will begin initiative with you. Lysander, feel free to respond whenever.
Okay, seeing everyone just sort of reacting and waking up, I think Ron would be ready to actually try something now. He's gonna try and try to trap this guy in that very small barrier like he did to Blaine ages ago.
Okay. Roll a grit die with magic. He's going to oppose it with his brains. Plus his magic.
17.
Need to... Ah. He got a 29.
Oh, okay.
You try to make this barrier around him, and you watch as, with his free hand, which would be his right, as he's carrying Orion with his left, you watch as he touches his hand against the barrier, and you watch as this black, almost... It seems like it is not of this world, as the magic just seems to crackle and fall apart at his touch. Mr. Bolt, I thought you were so kind. Would be a shame for something to happen to you. I would stay back if I were you.
Rowan was going to try and defend his behavior, but his eyes narrow at that, as he sees a sort of fairly veiled threat in his words. And he's just not going to say anything. He's just staring at this guy now.
So sorry, I didn't hear what you just said.
Oh, just like all of that? Okay, what?
I heard a barely veiled.
Oh, okay, so Rowan was going to sort of try to justify his actions to this guy, but when he says that it would be a shame if something happened to you, Rowan sees it as a sort of thinly veiled threat, and his eyes just narrow, and he says nothing.
Okay.
He's just gonna keep staring at him.
It is Nigel's turn. He is going to open the door and step out into the fog. You are welcome to pursue. And he's going to take the spear in his chest and just push it out. In fact, he just walks out of it. You can see that there is still a hole in his chest, but it looks like the inside of his body is hollow. The only thing you can see within it is this orange and black magic swirling around within him. And he just continues to walk. Lysander, it is your turn.
Oh boy. I had an idea, but I might have forgotten.
Hmm?
Can I kind of like put him in the water? Like maybe just up to his waist or something.
Yeah, you can like you can put water
Like
on him.
centralized on him, like he's in a little cube.
Are you trying to contain him?
No, I just wanna like slow him.
Slow him down?
Put
Okay.
him in the water in the cube. Not completely in the cube, like half submerged. Like he's
Okay.
up to his waist.
Yeah, you can do that. Roll me brains. Will be against his grit. Plus, both of you plus your magic, so him as well, but...
Oh my god. That was awful.
Unfortunate. And guys, do remember to be counting your AP when you fail a roll, but he does the same thing. As this water forms around him, he just puts his hand on it, and it again just fades away. He looks back at you. Mr. Lockwood, I expected you to be more courteous of your friend Orion here. He would be so sad to find out that when he drowned, it was because of one of his friends. You two do have so much in common. Does Lysander respond to that at all?
No, he just kind of makes anger face, like smells kind of.
Inky. And now that the door is open and the fog is leaking in, I need you all to roll me a chaos die. Well, actually, just Lysander, sorry. Since it was your turn. I just need Lysander to roll me a chaos die.
I assume everybody else will have to roll it on their turn.
Okay. Since you are within 50, you do not have to update your fog counter.
Oh boy.
So do you want to try to... Oh, right, yeah.
Next up will be Augie, and you can roll another order die to attempt to wake up. You just have to get between 40 and 60. That'll do it.
47.
You can wake up and you can take an action this turn. You see a man walking away carrying Orion, and you see Lysander, Elwyn, and Rowan gearing up to attack. Rowan, Elwyn, and Lysander. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so, yes.
Sorry, brain is going
She
funky
gets up
mode.
No worries. Augie, she gets up onto her feet and calls out to Rowan. Rowan, what's happening? I'm so good at acting, guys.
He's taking a Ryan. This isn't good.
And with that, Augie steals herself and charges forward, pointing her wand at Nigel.
Okay.
And she, from the tip of her wand, spews a strand. And she goes to tie up Nigel's legs to keep him from walking.
Awesome. Roll fight. That will be against his grit. Don't forget to roll magic.
Ooh, I flunked that. Alright, it is 12
12? Okay.
total.
Would you like to use 1 AP to win the tie?
Why not?
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, you tie up his feet. He looks down at you. Miss Partisan, good to meet you. Should ask, your friend Rowan there what happened with your friends.
Our friends? What are you talking about?
After. It's not something we can deal with right now. We need to figure something.
I mean,
And
I'm
we
sure
didn't
you would
inform around.
love to know that your curly-haired friend is taking out his aggression on the one in blue.
Blaine?
Indeed.
Yeah, that's happening, but let me distract you. He had.
I mean,
Figure
we
someone we
watched
can handle
through a
right now.
pendant as he gutted her.
There
Blaine
has
may
to
be
be more.
crazy, but he wouldn't do that.
Are you so sure?
Okay, she hesitates and then doesn't speak. She really isn't.
Elwyn, you're up.
Seeing how he can kind of just break apart magic that's trying to contain him, and her main focus being getting Orion away from him, even if she does want to rip this man limb from limb, she's going to create a chain and kind of throw it to wrap it around Orion to pull him away from him.
Okay. So I will let you roll fight for this, or brawn, your choice, but it will be at disadvantage since you're trying to aim at Orion. He is going to roll to oppose it.
With my magic dice.
Yes. He got a 69.
Oh, jeez. I can't beat that.
No, this is an order roll for him.
Oh. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, no, it did work. Okay. So... And the magic die exploded.
Okay.
I don't think it rolled it twice.
I also don't think it did.
So I'll just roll it again. I think it just named it disadvantage.
I also think it just named it disadvantage.
Oh, okay. The magic die
Does still explode.
exploded on the first one, so since the first roll is technically the better one, or
Right.
the second one is technically the better one.
It will still be whichever total is lower, but you could get them a lot closer to each other. Well,
Oh, 18.
18. That is 2 off.
Can I use my 3 AP to surpass it?
Yes, you may.
I think I'm gonna do that.
You hook these chains onto Orion and pull him out of Nigel's arms. And Nigel looks at you and frowns. Well,
He's gonna catch him and kind of just hold him tightly.
that is such a shame. Rowan, you're up. Rowan.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. So we're not currently trying to attack Nigel now?
That's up to you.
I mean, he's still gonna try to get Orion back.
Right, okay. Wait, so...
We just don't have to worry about
When
hurting
you take Orion from him, he just frowns and says, I suppose I can get somebody else. Anybody will do.
Wait, so Nigel isn't holding Orion anymore, basically.
Yes.
Okay. So saying the ramifications of what he just said aside, I'm just going to, Can I just do that order thing again where I just sort of mess with the space around Nigel just so that if he wants to move anywhere, he'll have to walk for a much greater distance?
Yes, but he is going to oppose it with a chaos roll of his own.
Okay.
So you can roll order and he will roll chaos.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like a radial thing.
Okay.
I don't have to add the or subtract the 20 do I?
You do not have to.
Okay, because I got a 53.
All right. He got an 88. So you will beat him on this. And you put these rings around him, and you watch as this orange and black magic starts to seep out of his feet and try to tear it apart. But you manage to contain him within it. And I will say that from here on, as long as he remains within it, he can only move or do an action.
Okay. Works for me.
Next up is his turn.
Do I need a main?
And I need Lysander to make me a brawn roll with magic.
Hi, what?
I need you to make me a brawn roll with magic as Nigel extends his hand toward you.
Oh boy, that's my D8, right?
Brawn for you is a d6 plus 1. For what it's worth, he's also rolling brawn plus magic.
I forget. Okay.
Okay, so he does unfortunately beat you. So you start to be pulled towards him. You were pulled about halfway.
And then
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't been doing this. Who all went after? So I need Augie, Elwyn, and Rowan to each roll me a chaos die. Because I was supposed to be doing that at the end of your turn. My bad. For future, you are always going to have to roll a chaos die at the end of your turn. As long as you remain within the fog. Okay. I need Augie to add 2 to your fog counter. Elwyn to add 1. And Rowan to add 4.
So for this, we're trying to get close to 50. Is that how?
Nope.
Okay. So 1. So you said 1 to the fog counter?
Yes. For you. 1 for you, 4 for Rowan, 2 for Augie. This is chaos. And after Nigel starts to pull you, Lysander, it is your turn.
can I try to run the other way? Like, step backwards?
To resist him, you would need to break out of it.
Oh boy, what do I have to do that?
That would be grit plus magic. Or brawn plus magic, whichever is higher.
I'm using grit.
Okay. And you just have to beat whatever he got. He got a 10, so you have to beat a 10.
I'm definitely 1d12 plus 2 for grit. I always forget what my rolls are, and I don't know where my little card is.
It is 1d12 plus 2,
okay,
yeah.
it is. Yes, I found my little card over here.
Well, the magic die exploded.
Oh, yay.
lucky break. Yay!
Yay, 13.
Alright, tell me how you break out.
I'd literally just step backward, probably stumble out and fall over.
You guys watch as Lysander takes a step back, and Octavius on his shoulder starts to glow just a little bit with this eerie red light,
Oh,
and
lava lamp.
you stumble a little, but you feel your shackles break. Um, um, okay, roll the chaos die for the end of your turn. Actually, no, you can still do something this turn. You can do more than just break out.
Oh boy.
You are like right up near him now. So there's that.
Are we allowed to kill him? Like, or at least try to kill him?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I mean,
So,
Ella
that's
Ella
give me
definitely
a
wants to.
drink of water. Can I like summon water inside his body?
You could summon water outside and try and put it inside.
Okay, I'll just like try and fill up his like lungs with water, like down his throat.
Okay.
There's like in mercy, we don't trust anyone around here.
Roll brains plus magic. He is going to try to resist, and I'm going to... He's also going to roll brains plus magic.
If this roll is also shit, I'm going to like jump off a cliff.
No!
Okay, not awful. Mostly just saved by the fact that I have so many bonuses.
I was gonna say, yeah. He rolled somehow even worse. Yeah, he'll take 3 degrees of failure from that.
Sick.
You
Clearly
shove this
drown that guy.
magic into him, and you watch as it gets like down his throat. It goes into that space that Elwyn opened, and you watch as it begins to disintegrate. But he does seem very upset by it. Not like on his face, but you can feel him like you can see him like shaking.
Fills his non-existent lungs with water.
Yeah. Eventually, all the water disintegrates, and he like spits. Mr. Lockwood, you fight like a man having nightmares.
The fuck is that meant to mean?
He winks at you. And now please roll the chaos die for the end of your turn.
Holy shit, I got 99.
That is going to be +5 to your fog counter.
Fuck. Goddamn.
For reference, 50 to 60 is +1, 61 to 70, or yeah, 61 to 70 is +2, 71 to 80 is +3, 81 to 90, or 81 to 89 is +4. Or no, what am I saying? Yeah, 81 to 90 is +4, 91 to 100 is +5. So after Lysander is Augie.
And I assume anything below that is a nothing.
You wouldn't know.
So does that mean we don't have to add?
What'd you say, Alec?
I got a nothing before. I don't even remember what I rolled, but I got nothing.
You did get a nothing before. Crazy how that happens.
So, question: do we not have to add the plus 35, or do we have? To add
For
the plus
chaotic
35?
mind, it is required that you add it.
Okay. Well, I guess me and Augie are never gonna get below a 35.
Speaking of, Augie, it's your turn.
Oh, lovely. Give me a moment.
No. Just kidding.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Look over at Nigel, and he's just kind of tapping his feet on the ground. There's a look that you recognize all too well on his face, Augie. The look of an adult disappointed in children.
Oh. Ugh. That one's making me clench up. In disgust. Alright. Upon seeing this, a small rage forms in Augie, even more than it had already been boiling, and she pulls out her wand, and from her wand comes out the undulating hues, galaxy hues of her sword, unfurling in a magical mass around her wand. She charges forward at him, going for a slashing movement.
Okay. Roll me fight. He is going to roll grit to oppose.
Oh.
And remember, you may roll a chaos die at any time if you would like to enhance your roll.
I'm gonna do that.
There is risk with it, though, but...
Feeling a little chaotic today.
Oh, he needs to roll his magic die. Alright.
Feeling a little chaotic. I'm a little angry, if you
So,
will.
with a 62, that will give you a plus 10 to your roll, which is an 18. He also got an 18. However, I would like you to please add plus 1 to your fog counter.
Has been added.
Ah, yes, taking in chaos magic in the land of funky fog. The greatest of plans ever.
It's almost like the four of you have a lot more of something than Rowan does, which may be the reason that Rowan was able to stay awake.
Lungs?
Huh?
Huh?
What did you say?
Lungs, like the thing that you breathe with.
Yeah, you guys have
Yeah?
you guys have crazy amounts of lungs.
Love.
Rowan
I was
has
just
a
thinking that
third.
Rowan has tiny lungs.
Rowan has a third lung that lets him breathe lets him hold his breath even harder.
No, what I was trying to get
That
at
is
is that
horrifying.
the four of you use significantly more chaos magic, while Rowan is the sole person in your party that routinely uses order magic.
Well, I mean, Elowin uses arcane magic.
But where has Elowin been for the past, like, hundreds of years?
Again, she uses arcane, but she's been stuck in a realm of chaos for thousands of years.
Anyway, So yes, Augie, if you would like to use 1 AP, I will let you, and you will be able to do a point of exhaustion to him.
Do that.
Okay. And then I will have you roll the chaos die for the end of your turn.
Get a 90.
That will be +4 to your fog die, or fog counter. Elowen, you're up.
I was just gonna kind of check on Orion, see if he's okay.
He seems to be out pretty cold. In fact, his breathing seems to be very slow. I will let you roll brains to see if you can figure out what is wrong.
Not my greatest, but oh, jeez.
I'll actually give you advantage on this because you have seen this before. So, even with a 5, you can tell that Orion is quickly dying. You cannot tell why.
Can Elowin try to check the levels of his magic?
You can, yes. What did I have you roll for that last time?
I don't even remember.
Just roll me an order die. Try and open your mind to the flow of magic.
And then I will add the +20, so that makes it 45.
Okay. With a 45, you are able to easily see that there is a void of magic where Nigel stands. And this orange and black pulsating magic that you know keeps Orion alive is slowly drifting through the air towards Nigel. And he seems to be consuming it.
Can Elowin try to sort of cut off the flow?
You can try, but it will be very hard. I will just tell you that outright. It will be a chaos roll, because you're going to have to sever that from him.
She's also not the most she's not also the most rational, so that wouldn't be the first thought that goes through her head to try to sever it. She'd probably think, "Oh, he's killing Orion. I'm gonna kill him first."
Remember that you can communicate with your party. I'll be right back. I'm back. Remember, kids, talking is a free action.
Ellen's going to kind of throw out her hands and send a bunch of crystals all around him
Ooh.
before they turn into spikes, and she's going to try to send them all at Nigel at once with him in the center.
Okay. Roll
And all she's gonna
roll
she's gonna
fight
say is-
plus magic plus 5. But yeah, what are you saying?
she's like, "You want to try to leech off him like some parasite?"
I'm simply taking back what is mine.
That just pisses her off even more.
Yeah, so roll fight plus magic plus 5. He's going to roll brawn to resist. Plus his magic. Remember to roll it in the right chat.
Yes. In the right chat this time.
He got an 11. That is your number to beat.
So 17.
Awesome. That does beat him by 6, so he will take 2 degrees. Or 2 points of exhaustion, sorry. You notice he is able to... He starts to kind of dig himself out. And you notice that when you hurt him, the flow from Orion to him does get weaker.
Just keep hitting him with everything you've got. She doesn't look at anybody else. Her eyes are solely focused on Nigel.
And while you are holding Orion, his eyes kind of flutter a little. Elwyn? And he just falls back asleep. And Rowan, you're up.
He just holds him a little bit tighter.
So these crystals, are they like embedded in Nigel, or
They are right now.
okay? What do these crystals look like? Are they actual like rock, or are they just
They're magic.
like crystalline shaped?
They are magical arcane crystals.
Okay. I don't know a lot
So
about
they,
arcane magic,
They
do
probably conduct magic pretty well.
They are arcane magic, which is the building blocks of most elemental magic.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to see if I can make a sort of like really steady sort of tether to link all these crystals together and then try and constrict it so that it's embedding the crystals in further and also restraining at the same time.
Okay, say that for me one more
If that
time.
makes sense. Can I like sort of try and conjure up a sort of magical tether that links all these crystals together that will start to constrict so that it's sort of restraining Nigel, but at the same time it's ideally it'll
Try to dig the
embed the
crystals,
crystals
in
in
deeper.
even further. So
Yeah,
doing
can do
two
that.
things at the same time.
Roll
Yeah.
roll brawn
I
plus
want to make
magic.
sure that. Oh, okay. Oh boy.
And this will just do damage against his the same resistance roll, so you're still trying to beat an 11.
Oh man. Okay. No.
Unfortunately,
So not it.
he is able to kind of push them back as you try to pull them in.
Okay. Can I then just like cast another spell and just try to sort of vent the sort of fog out through the open door? Like just create a sort of draft, breeze, whatever.
You can try. That will be that will also be brawn or fight, whichever you prefer.
Oh, right. I have to make my chaos base.
But I will say you, yes, and then you're gonna have to roll
I need to
chaos
roll
if you're
chaos
rolling.
'cause it's
Yep.
Okay. Roll. What is my fight
Oh,
again? It's
ouch,
1d8.
that's a +5.
Yeah, that's a +5 for
Oh.
sure.
Gosh. 1d8 plus 1.
I'm gonna start rolling his
Which
die
magic
behind the
die?
screen. Yep.
Okay. Whoa.
Right.
Okay, so that's a 14. And then
Roll chaos.
rolling chaos.
Oh
93.
goodness. So
Okay, and
remember what
I
happened
failed
last
that.
time you rolled really well on a chaos die?
Last time I rolled. When was the last time I actually ever rolled well on a chaos die? That wasn't for.
It was when you tried to
you mean my
teleport
first
into the
spell?
opera house.
I'm pretty sure I rolled really badly on that. Actually, I got like
No,
below
it was
10.
that you rolled. Or was it?
Yeah, it was that
I
he
got
rolled
like
because you
a
want to
3.
get high. Because
Right,
you've
right,
always
right,
said
right,
that you
right.
want to get high with. If you get, I think it was like a 99 to 100, it boosts the effect of the magic.
It's 50 up, boosts it, something else down. But if you get from a 90 to a 100, something extra happens. Because it is so chaotic. But so you
Or-
throw all this fog out, and for the next round, so for everybody's next turn, you will not have to roll one at the end of your turn. But everybody else is also thrown out into the street.
Oops.
You are all sent tumbling outside. Rowan, you included.
How about Nigel? He's still in the rings. Is he still?
He is pushed out of them. Everybody's in the
Oh,
street
okay.
now.
And okay, well, okay then.
Hey, you won't have to roll fog this turn, so
Okay. Is he?
next up is Nigel. He's going to stand up, dust himself off, and he is going to walk over to Lysander. He's going to stop for a moment. And Lysander, I need you to make a brains roll to resist a spell. He is also going to roll brains plus magic.
Oh no.
14 plus
Oh no.
explodes.
No! I heard that.
So he gets a 24 altogether.
Oh no.
Yikes.
So you are going to take 3 points of exhaustion
Oh god.
as he makes eye contact with you, and you feel your
Focus
bond
on-
from Octavius beginning to slip.
Mega autism.
And you get a pretty bad headache as he reaches into your mind and attempts to push you away from your protection.
Slut.
And he's going to continue walking past you. He's going to walk over to Elwyn.
She's just gonna continue to glare at him.
And he is going to slap you. Roll.
Did she try to grab his hand? That's
Yeah, I'll let
attempting
you.
to
I'll let
slap
you.
her.
I'll let you roll fight instead of brawn to fight back instead of resist.
Well, I was going to say grab his hand and start to crush it.
That'll be fight, yeah. So whoever wins this will give the other points of exhaustion. He's rolling brains for this, and you'll find out why in a minute. So he's rolling brains plus magic. So that's
So
13.
would
on
it would have
D20.
been
It's
it would have
3.
been fight over grit.
You are rolling fight instead of brawn. Or you can just roll brawn if you'd like.
I'd like to roll brawn.
Okay.
Very much.
So, oh, fucking Jesus Christ.
You okay?
I dropped my dice on the floor, sorry. That's an explosion.
And I assume without magic.
You can add magic. Or no, you would not get magic on this, sorry. So he gets a 26 total.
Ouch. Ouch.
And you all watch as Lysander slaps Elwyn across the face. And you watch these black cracks start to go across her face. And Elwyn, you
Her
feel
eyes
like
are-
you are starting to fall apart.
Her eyes are slowly going to move over to Lysander as the red slowly creeps in more.
So you got a 14 versus his 26. So that's also 3 points of exhaustion for you. And Lysander, you are up next. You just watched him try to disintegrate Elwyn.
You said Lysander slapped her.
No,
Did you
no.
mean
So I
Nigel?
meant Nigel. Yeah, Nigel slapped her. Sorry, I misspoke. Yeah. Nigel slapped Elwyn and her face began to fall apart.
Very much ouch.
Yeah. It ouchies quite a bit. You would also see that when he does that, his connection to Orion gets a little stronger. And you're not sure how you're sensing this, but you feel like Orion is a third of the way gone.
Hmm.
Yeah. Exposition does sound like a spell name.
How broken apart is Nigel at the moment?
He is pieces, just floating around. He's still in a human shape, but his face has been like punctured a couple places. His chest still has that hole from where you stabbed him.
Hmm.
And yeah,
So whose turn is it now?
It is Lysander's turn. Alex, since you're in the kitchen, do you want me to just put your turn after Augie? Okay, Augie, then you're up. Mayo.
What state? Wow! Anyways, what state is Nigel in? Does he still have those crystals in him?
Nope. He just walked out of them. He disintegrated them. Oh yeah, he was pushed out of them when Rowan did the gust.
Everybody got blown out the building.
That sounds like a him problem. I'm going to point my wand at him, and from the tip of my wand explodes an electrifying shock towards him.
Awesome. Roll that fight plus magic. Do what you do best. He's just gonna roll grit against it.
I love fighting people.
So you got what, 20?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you shoot out this electricity and it zaps him, and he you see like burn marks go across his body. Next up will be Lysander. Augie, I do need you to roll your chaos die for the end of your turn, please. Oh, and I didn't say, but he did take a or yeah, right, you don't have to roll it for this turn. Because Rowan is awesome.
Next turn we'll have to roll it though.
Yeah.
If it goes to next turn.
He did take a degree of exhaustion from that, by the way. Or point of exhaustion, or whatever you want to call it. Alec, are you still in La Kitchen? No! Don't die. I'll just move you to the end of the round then. Okay. So you'll just go next after Elowin. We'll still be in round order. So Elowin, you're up.
She's just going to stare at him for a moment before she's going to jump back, throw out 2 crystals next to him as they form into giant plates, and she's going to try to just like hydraulic press him.
Awesome. So you will actually get a pretty sizable bonus for this. You will roll your brawn plus magic plus 10. He is going to roll brains plus magic to resist. Oh, goodness gravy.
Jeez. Even with the bonus.
I will say, you do still get 2 points of exhaustion on him, because he rolled really bad. So you feel yourself trying to push these plates together. It's not working very well, but he also doesn't seem to be able to resist it very well. And though he does burn away these plates, they do a sizable amount of damage to him. And he just continues to frown at you.
She's kind of breathing a little bit heavier now.
He is going to.
She's definitely used a lot more taxing magic than she usually does.
Lysander, you'll be up next. Alec, I'm trying so hard not to say it. Okay. He looks at you, Elwyn, after you crush him, frowns a little. It is quite rude to attack those who are simply trying to take back what they own. You see, I do own Mr. Stella there.
I'll crush you again.
I would love
No
to
one
see you
owns
try.
Orion.
I own Orion. Everything he is because of me.
Can I interrupt him mid-speech by shoving water down his throat again?
Yeah.
Like ruined his villain monologue. I was invested in Lysander.
Screw his villain monologue.
Roll braids plus magic. Yeah. He's gonna resist it with the same, but with how he's been rolling. Oh god, that's a nat one.
Smite him, Lysander, do it.
His magic dies a little better, but still not much.
Round.
That's alright.
Yes.
He got a 10 total. So that'll do 3 points of exhaustion for him.
Dang, he's been taking a beating. He can't have
Everything
much left.
that I have. And
When
he
you have
looks
to go
over
work.
at Lysander. Mr. Lockwood, you need to stop. And you see that when he says Mr. Lockwood, some of his face begins to reform itself as this black liquid drips from the top of the holes and fixes the injuries. And Lysander, this is very reminiscent of the type of goo that you remember from your nightmare.
The Maximilian nightmare.
Hmm.
Huh.
Does
I
does
wonder.
Lysander respond? We'll also note that Octavius has been eerily quiet. Lysander. Oh, session in character. Just unsheathes Daedalus. Awesome. Hell yeah. You unsheath Daedalus and make direct eye contact with him. Furrow your brow. And he seems to smile. Good. Good. Just as you were taught. You always were such an amazing student, Mr. Lockwood.
Lysander, do you know this guy?
The next turn, by the way, will be Rowan's. And Augie, after you ask Lysander that question, he does not respond. Seems to have his eyes locked on Nigel. Rowan, you're up.
Did you get the thing I sent?
I did.
Okay, so Rowan is just sort of frantically looking around. He's a bit freaked out, to say the least. A bit more than a bit bothered that he cast that wind spell and it did more than he had expected it to, and just he wants to do something that he's doing a lot, just like barriers and space magic and all that. I don't know how to describe this. He's just sort of going to. Did everyone get like knocked over when they got blown out of the building?
About basically
Or-
everybody has stood up now by this point.
Okay, so as he's standing up and looking around, he's just sort of going to think back to when he, well, in his first duel with Augie, when he cast that sort of spell redirecting spell that he visualized as a river, and when he had that shield that he used to defend himself against Orion in that practice fight in Magicka's realm, and when he was doing the fast travel thing, basically, just like the most significant order magic things, I think, that would have been in his mind. And his meeting with Magicka, and he's going to try and just pour as much magic into this next spell as possible to just sort of hopefully heal anyone who's hurt and sort of create a sort of similar to that first recollection, the spell redirecting field around everyone, like with the same sort of visuals. And
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Magicka's guidance.
All right. You use Magicka's guidance to automatically succeed with 2 extra degrees of success. And everybody, except for Nigel, obviously, is surrounded by this protective barrier Rowan has conjured. And the next attack on you will be redirected to any person of your choice. Unless, Rowan, you would like to aim them all at Nigel. Which you could do.
Oh, no, leave it up to them.
Okay. Next up is Nigel's turn. And good timing, because he is about to do something fun. He is going to reach his arm up. And I just want to make sure, is everybody here? Lysander, are you still here listening?
Yes.
This is important. He reaches up to where his shoulder would be, and you watch as from the I want everybody to kind of just take your hand and feel where your collarbone is. From right there,
Yeah.
up out of his skin, slithers a giant scaled black snake. And it wraps around his body. And it coils out so that it is looking at you just as Nigel does. And it screams. A world-shattering screech. And you all need to roll grit. All of you. If you would like to redirect this spell, you may, but I need you to roll grit anyway. The DC for this is 13, by the way.
Jeez.
Yep, everybody. Orion is
I-
also technically rolling for this. And he got a nat 1.
I technically counted as failing the
Okay.
roll. For
So
the
I'm
defense,
assuming
correct?
that since everybody but Rowan failed, are you guys using your redirection?
Yes.
The snake is screaming. So the shield that Rowan gave you, you can use to redirect any one spell to a person of your choosing. This is definitely magical, so... Yes, you may. Would anybody else like to redirect their spell at anybody?
Yeah, I'll redirect the Nigel.
Okay. I want you all to tell me how many degrees of failure you took. Remember that it is 5 is 1 degree, 10 is 2 degrees, and anything over... So like a 13 would be 3 degrees if you failed by that. So, for example, Lysander got a 4 versus the 13, so that's 2 degrees. Because
So
it's...
since I got a 4, it would also be 2 degrees.
Yep.
I think
Yay.
mine is
No.
1 degree.
So 1 to 5 is 1 degree of failure. Anything over 5 is 2. Until 10, then it becomes 3, etc. So, obviously, Rowan, you do not take any degrees of failure, so you don't have to redirect. So that's 2 degrees of failure from Lysander, 2 from Augie, just
I think
1.
I only had 1. I got a 6.
It was a 13 DC, so...
Okay, so it would be
So you
6,
still
it would
got
be
2. Yep. So...
Yeah. Redirect.
Nigel will take
Nigel.
6 degrees of failure. And you watch as this snake screams, and all of this magic rebounds off of your shield, and it all hits square into Nigel. And his eyes widen. Interesting. And you all watch as the snake slithers down and crawls back inside him through that hole in his neck. And Nigel will float down to the floor from where this snake had lifted him off the ground. And you all watch as time seems to slow down. And he walks over to Rowan. And none of you can move. Rowan, he grabs you. Grabs your face on both sides of your head. He makes dead eye contact with you. You can't move. So no, you cannot bite him. But he gets very close to your face. And then he looks back, leans back, and puts his hand on your head. And I want you to make a grit roll versus a 45. You cannot resist this. So that will be 5 degrees of failure. Nope, you go unconscious at 10 now. You all watch as Nigel puts his hand on top of Rowan's head, and a cloud of spikes appear around Rowan and stab into him. I told you you could not.
Speak! I can't do anything. Can I not do anything?
You cannot move, you cannot speak, nothing.
Rowan!
In fact, Rowan, even after being stabbed, you cannot move. And he looks at you. Remember this. I will come back for you. And then he looks at Lysander. Mr. Lockwood, you have raised for yourself a fine group of students. I look forward to seeing your progress. And you watch as his face melts away. His hair extends, gets incredibly long, and becomes this grim shade of white. His face lengthens into a jagged jawline, his aged skin falling down his face. And the familiar face of Maximilian Ebonnair looks you in the eyes. I do so miss our training. Now, Mr. Lockwood, I bid you tend to your wounds. For me and my familiar will be waiting. By the way, I would recommend that you and Orion get chummy before I take his life.
Has the connection severed now?
No, Orion is still losing life for right now, but you watch as this snake slithers out of his chest again, and it coils around his arm. He walks over to Lysander, and he grabs Octavius in the orb of water. And you watch as the snake slithers up to the end of his arm and bites Octavius. Now, he looks down at you. Lysander, I am not going to kill your familiar. But, and you watch as he makes a motion with his hand, and the snake picks up Octavius and rests him in their mouth. I want you to know that I can. You are not safe here. From me or from my glorious creation. And I will get Octavius. I will make him give himself to me because you are weak and frail. Goodbye, Mr. Lockwood. I look forward to meeting you again. And you watch as the floor beneath him melts, and he sinks into it. And as the top of his head falls below, time resumes for you all. And I will let you all...
Still there.
The connection is now severed between Orion and Maximilian.
Yeah. After he's gone, the red quickly fades from Elowen's eyes, and she just kind of holds her head in pain.
She stumbles on her feet and quickly rushes over to where Rowan is.
Hey, okay. Ron is just sort of trying to stand up. Is he able to? Is he like, how bad is this?
You're bleeding a lot.
Okay.
From
That's
everywhere.
no idea.
And it hurts. It is a nigh immobilizing amount of pain.
Yeah, so he's trying to get up, but he can't, obviously.
Augie gently pushes him down, makes sure he's like staying down. So that's gonna make that hurt more. And she tears off her little cape, quickly wrapping it around him, trying to press it into wherever it is oozing blood.
It'll hurt. Ow.
And yes, you are at 8 degrees of exhaustion now, Rowan.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And Elowen kind of like, still kind of clutching Orion, kind of stumble over to Rowan, and she kind of just lays her hand on him and tries to close some of his more grievous wounds.
Okay. I will let you make a brains roll. Or brains or charm, your choice, with magic.
Oh, jeez, both of those are bad. Oh, jeez.
With a 4,
Man,
you
I
can
just can't roll.
close 1 degree of exhaustion. You can close some
After
wounds,
that, she just
but
kind of,
not
she just,
many.
after that, she just kind of slumps against Orion. And she's utterly spent.
Orion actually does now begin to wake.
He wakes up and Elowen just passes out on his chest.
Oh my god. Rowan, are you alright? Lysander, what happened? Oh my god, where are we?
Really?
Do you look alright?
Nope.
We just got assaulted by the Nigel guy.
By Nigel?
He tried to take you.
What do you mean he tried to take me? What does Nigel have to do with me? He was like fine when we met him the other day.
He said
He
he
said he
owned you.
owned you.
What do you mean he owns me? I've never met him.
Lysander has.
He
He said
changed.
he was
He
his
looked
student.
different.
Lysander has? Like, why is Lysander just standing like that?
Elowen kind of like weakly awakens and she just kind of mutters, "He knew your name."
Yeah, I introduced myself to him. I told him my name was Orion.
Orion Stella. And she passes out again.
Oh. He. No.
She's like utterly spent.
He walks over to Lysander and he tries to, like. Lysander, he tries to hug you. And he just whispers, it was him, wasn't it? Oh. Yeah, you push him away and he just falls. I'm sorry. And he just sits there. Lysander, you look around slowly as you come back to your senses. You see Elowen asleep near Rowan, who is bleeding a lot, but it seems to have, the wounds seem to have mostly closed. They do not seem to be life-threatening anymore. You see Augie trying to tend to Rowan's wounds. And she clearly does not know how to tend wounds. And you see Orion on the ground in front of you from where you pushed him. Yeah, Augie's trying, and that's what matters.
He's trying really hard.
Okay. Beep, bop.
But I do think we should call it there.
We're gonna call it soon. I just got to finish up one last thing. Oh, serve works too. Yeah, Lysander, or yeah, like you could totally do that. You all watch as Lysander just passes the fuck out. Oh, yeah, you can say it. I thought you were asking me to. But yeah, narrate it how you want, and I'll fix it for you. We can retcon.
Lysander suffers mental exhaustion.
I'm waiting for Lysander to say what he does.
Yeah. Rowan suffers quite literally physical exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
And Elowen suffers magical exhaustion.
You can attempt to heal yourself further, Rowan. Same roll, brains or charm. And that is where we will end the session.